Here with senior receiver Kendrick Price. Final time he'll take the field as a Demon Saturday at McNeese, and see a little smile there. Mainly happy memories from your time here?
Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. There's a lot that comes with it. The positives, the things I've learned. The heartbreaks. The stuff that you just go through. Just being in college and playing the sport. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot of emotion. So it's just it's gonna be a special one.
You touched on it, the highs and the lows. What are some of the highs that you'll walk out of here remembering most?
To be honest, the friendships, the bonds that I made here is probably was going to stick with me for the longest. Lasting out throughout life. Just all the experiences I've had. The people that have came and gone. Obviously, being here for 6 years. That's a lot of different senior classes and freshman classes, transfers. Coaches, just all kinds of people that you end up meeting and have the opportunity to meet. Over the years. So that's definitely something I find the most valuable to me. Something that I'll keep with me is probably one of the most highest for me.
Peaks and valleys. It kind of took a while for you to find your way on the field. Then you ran into some issues that nearly took football away from you that weren't physical. What did you learn from that time?
And like I like to think that a lot of things in life go hand in hand. And how you do something is how you do everything. So growing from a football aspect also helped me grow from a personal standpoint or classroom standpoint of just learning how to take care of business and applying yourself and all those things that was just a part of growing up, and that was all a part of the journey and something that I'm blessed to say that I overcame.
The journey led you to a breakout season. The last time we had a full fall season, in 2019, you kind of stepped up and became the guy in that receiver room the last few weeks there alongside Quan Shorts, and it led you to wear number 1. And that's been something that between Jazz Ferguson, who you played with, Quan Shorts, who you played with, now you, and I guess Bobby Chan before then, and I think you overlapped with Bobby for a year or two, so you have been here a while, but to be the next in line to wear number 1. As you look back on it now, it's obviously, we did the story on it a couple summers ago, but when you look back, you've had 2 years wearing that number 1 in that receiver room. What's that meant?
It's one of those things where you just have to look back and realize like where you are, over time, based on, like you said, the sequence of events, how it happened, and Coach Slaughter wanted me to get in the number, and my friends, encouraging me to do it. Just kind of felt like it was happening so fast, and you look up one day, it's like, when you realize where you came from or the dreams you had and things that you wanted for yourself, it's super cool sometimes to think about it. And like I said, all the guys that were previously are all close friends of mine, so that just makes it even more of a special deal for me. But it's a great feeling.
You just said it, and it kind of stuck out. It moves so fast. How fast does 6 years go?
Faster than you think. Like being a freshman, leaving high school, like 4 years. And at the time, I didn't know it would be 6, but just think 4 or 5 years, like that's a lifetime. It's forever, And you hear the older guys say things like, it flies by and stuff like that. But one of the things I learned from college is that the things that sound the most cliche are the most true, and that's why they became cliche to begin with. So, once you realize it, like, dang, it really does fly by. Like, I really am, one of the oldest guys here. I was just the youngest. It's cool. It's how life works, and it's just, I'm blessed to be able to be in that position to live that out. So
we mentioned the breakout in 2019. That was one of those highs, and it seems like a lot of times with your career, a high is followed by a valley. You blow out your ACL that next spring, or I guess the fall, actually going into the fall. You did. We talked to Gavin Landry a couple of weeks ago. You guys side by side, kind of rehabbing. What did that mean to have a guy who you'd known since you came in together, to be able to kind of fight through that with?
Well, initially having a roommate, Devon Smith, my freshman year, who tore his ACL during spring ball, and he had already torn it, so that being his second time, he had an idea of how to recover, and I learned a lot from that. And then, like you said, with Gavin tearing his, and even Gino at the same time as me, I felt like that was even more of like help and advice, from guys that have been through what I'd gone through. And the little things like that you take for granted, you never realize how much they can help. Just being able to talk to a guy or vent, or having someone who's just felt the same pain as you, or gone through the same thing as you. It makes a world of a difference when you're going through such a tough injury, potentially career-ending injury for some people. So, and for a guy to be as close as me and Gavin are to share that injury, it just made it even better. So, it was definitely a blessing in disguise to have him around.
You guys got to celebrate maybe a little too much the other night, and Coach Laird's forgiving you for the penalty you came up with. Who choreographed the move? Was that you? Was that him? Was that a combination?
It was actually a move. We saw other schools not getting penalized for it. So we were like, if they're not getting penalized for it, we're going to try and see what happens. And I guess it was just wrong place, wrong time. They got us. So, but yeah, we had been planning all week. We were supposed to do it after the first touchdown. He was excited about the second one. I was like, look, I don't know. It's the last home game. I don't know if we're going to get in there again. So we got to make it happen. So we did it. It was a lot of fun.
You've been in the end zone 9 times catching the ball in your career. One more would move you into a tie for ninth place on the all-time career chart. It's not always about numbers, and I know you won't take those with you, but to be able to maybe etch your name in the record book, how special is that?
It's crazy. It almost happened the same way in high school. I got the opportunity to play, toward my senior year, and I had a good season. And at the end of the year, I realized, I had set a school record and kind of just snuck up on me. Somebody didn't even know. And it was almost the same way here, like it was never something I really thought about. I always wanted to be the best, that I could be, and to actually look up and see that, these stats are being recorded and like you actually have done, part of what you came to do. It's a great feeling to know that, that's something that was a goal of mine, to be remembered in some way and, to contribute to the legacy of the university. So to know that something I actually did is just unbelievable. I can't really put it into words sometimes, but it's a great feeling.
It's Tuesday. You've got 3 practices, 1 walkthrough, and 1 football game left as a Demon. When you look back, and it's kind of hard to encapsulate 6 years, but what do you think the impact or your legacy that you've accomplished, compiled over the past 6 years, when you leave here, when it's all said and done, whether it's after an exit meeting or Saturday in Lake Charles, and as we fight to pull you off the field and get you on the bus, what's the legacy? What impact do you think you've left on this team and this program?
I mean, just as a person who, I didn't come here like highly recruited, I didn't have, a ton of offers, opportunities, but, it was a situation where I felt like I was given an opportunity and I made the most of it. And, I put myself in a situation that I really wanted to be in, just based on not giving up and believing in myself, and I feel like there's thousands of guys that can identify with that, and, see themselves in me. I have guys that talk to me all the time, and, just to be an inspiration to people that are in similar situations, to believe in themselves and know, like, if I did it, I didn't think I would be here, and then, anybody can do anything. And even moving forward, there's even more that can be accomplished. So as long as I'm an inspiration to someone, that'll make the difference to me.
All right. Thanks, KP.